It's Groove, back with another book review, and today we have Start Late, Finish Rich by David Bach. So this book was wrote in 2006, or was published in 2006, before the housing crisis, before inflation went crazy like it is today in 2024. So a lot of the information in this book, it's usable, but at the same time, he's way off on a lot of stuff, but we're gonna go over it anyway just to see what's up. Start late, finish rich. He's trying to help people say that it's never too late to, begin saving your money and building for retirement, which so many people today talk about it's too late to do, which I wouldn't necessarily, it's never too late to do. It's never too late to go out there and grind and hustle and go get it, which is crazy to me because I see a lot of Gen Z today. They're all talking about, they're 20 years old and they're like, screw it, I'm done. I'm never gonna get rich, so I'm just gonna doom spend. Apparently doom spending is a thing. And I'm like, what? What are you talking about? You're 20 years old. You have 80 years left to live, and you're just gonna say bump it already? What are we doing? But again, he just wants to go over it's never too late to start saving and building wealth for the future so you can retire, no matter what age you're at. Obviously, the sooner you start, the better. But you can always just start today. The first thing you gotta do is you gotta cut the spending. If you just have frivolous spending, whatever you're doing right now, you need to cut it. Going out, buying coffee, going out to the movies. Well, nobody's going to the movies anymore. But with all the subscription services that you gotta kill those immediately. Again, this book is more geared towards older people, but whatever you're doing, all of this frivolous spending, it has to go immediately. If you're really struggling and you're trying to build wealth and you're starting from scratch, you gotta get rid of the spending. He really wants to make it clear that it's really all about your saving. So many people are like, oh, I just need to make more money. I just need to make more money. And it's just no, if you got your spending under control, it's not really about how much money you make. It's how much money can you keep and save. So if you're just constantly giving your money away every month to, subscription services, or, you got this expensive car, that's really killing you. It's not really making more money. And usually those people that end up getting that raise to make more money, they end up just spending it on more stuff anyway. So if you can really get your saving under control, or your spending, that can help immensely out of the gate to just starting to build a little nest egg. So after he talks about getting your spending under control and starting to save money, so now we got a little saving base, he talks about credit cards. Credit card debt is killing everybody. If people just got out of credit card debt, if you just had a credit card and you could just pay it off every month, you would feel rich. Credit card debt is crazy and nobody thinks about it. You need to get rid of your credit card debt immediately. Again, he starts off with saying you need to watch your spending, save some money, and now we got to get rid of that credit card debt. He believes that people should save and get rid of credit card debt at the same time. He says it's an emotional thing, so you'll see your savings go up as your credit card payment goes down, instead of just trying to put all that money into paying the credit cards off. He says a lot of people will feel like they're still not getting anywhere. So he says to save and pay it down and pay your credit cards off at the same time. So now that we've got the spending under control and we're starting to save a little bit of money while paying off our credit card debt, next he talks about your 401k. If your job has a 401k, he says you should contribute to it. He says you should contribute at least 1 hour of your workday a day. So if you're making, if you get paid $25 an hour, he says one of those hours, so $25 a day is what you should be contributing to your 401k. And so that's $125 a week. And he says that's $6,250 a year is what you can contribute to your 401k just by doing 1 hour a day. He said once we get that, as a bare minimum, then we can move up to an hour and a half of our paycheck a day, or 2 hours of our paycheck goes directly into our 401k. If your job doesn't have a 401k that you can open an IRA, you can pretty much do that on any brokerage account today. And he says if you put $333 a month in, if you can just do that, and that will grow by the time you're 65, that will grow into about $500,000. So again, that's not the most money in the world, and I doubt you can you're definitely not going to retire on $500,000, but at least it's something, because so many people today, they'll get to 65, 70 and they will have no money at all. So to have, $500,000 by the time you retire at 65 or 70, it's something, then you can just, you may just get a little side job or whatever, but now you have this $500,000 that you're also eating off of, instead of you having to work in this, high productive environment. Now he talks about investing. He says he puts his money into 3 places. So he says stocks, bonds, and real estate. And he says the more boring, the better. So he's not looking for any crazy gains. He's just looking to put money in there and have it grow slowly over time. With the real estate, he says you can buy REITs. So REITs are pretty much shares of real estate companies on the stock market. And so you can pretty much buy real estate without actually buying real estate. And so he says he does a third, again, stocks. He has a third of his portfolio stocks, a third of it is real estate, and a third of it is bonds. And he just makes it super simple. He says the more boring the ETFs you buy, the better. And he just says make it automatic and just put money into there and just let it go. After he's talked about, how to save money, how to get out of credit card debt, how to invest your money, whether it be through a 401k, and then now like your own brokerage account, buying stocks and REITs and bonds. He talks about owning your own house. Now, again, this was wrote in 2006. Houses were super cheap. Well, I'm not going to sit there and say they were super cheap, but compared to today, they were a lot more easier to get into. He's like, you need to get into your own house. And I kind of agree with him. Like renting over time, like your rent goes up like year after year after year. But if you get locked into a fixed rate mortgage on your own house, then that payment never changes for the next 30 years because you've locked in that rate. Now, your property taxes may go up over time, but if you can keep your living expense lower, he says that really helps out a lot. And so he's really big on buying your own house. I am too, and I know, again, it's getting harder today, but if you can go get a house, if you qualify for, a house and you can get in there, and then you can get some roommates. If you don't have a family, you may get some roommates, maybe a couple people from work, or, God forbid, if you got to go to like Facebook Marketplace or something. But you can find roommates on Facebook, and that will just reduce your living expense, which again, now you can just double up on your savings and investments while also building wealth in owning a property. After he's, gone through how to save money, how to invest your money, buying a house versus renting, he goes over how to make more money, the different ways you can do that by like starting a business, getting a raise at work, selling stuff online, again, just being an entrepreneur, buying real estate. This is how he pretty much made his millions. He says he bought a bunch of real estate. I like the fact that he states that, again, it's not hard to start a side business while you still keep your main job. A lot of people don't really understand like what kind of business to start. And he wants to reiterate that more money you want to make, you have to help more people. Like that's pretty much the bottom line. You need to become more valuable. You need to help more people, solve more problems. And that's how people will want to give you more money. If you can, the more people you help or the bigger problems you solve, people will give you more money to solve those problems or to help more people. And so, he talks about when you're starting a business, always keep that in mind is how many people can I help? What problems can I solve? So he's a big proponent on, starting your own business. He says that anybody can do it. They don't take that much time out of your day. He says you can start a side business or something online for, 1 to 2 hours of your day. So that's pretty much it for this one. Again, he made it really simple, cutting your spending, saving some money, paying off that credit card debt, making sure you're investing in your 401k or an IRA, doing some other investing on the side over that with stocks, bonds, and real estate, and then making sure that you buy your own house. And then once you've got all of that down, he says to try to start a side business or a side hustle or how to get a raise at your job or just becoming more valuable, whether at your own job or getting a degree or some in another field that, makes more money. So yeah, if you like this one, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in that next one. Peace.